A midlife crisis is more than just a cultural stereotype. It's a real psychological struggle that can surface between the ages of 40 and 60. Often triggered by aging, loss, or unmet expectations, it can actually lead individuals to question their identity, make impulsive choices, or abruptly abandon long term commitments. While not officially classified yet as a mental illness, the emotional and relational fallout is very real, especially for the spouses and families left behind. This podcast gives voice to those living through the aftermath, exposing the hidden pain, and seeking accountability, healing, and understanding. Thank you for joining us today on MLC Bomb Drop and Beyond. Hello, Bomb Squad. Welcome today. When I looked at the calendar yesterday, I realized, wow, man, my our 30th wedding anniversary would have been July 27th. But about 3 years ago, on our anniversary week, my sweet husband decided to, drop his mask, have the bomb drop, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, this week, July 27th, would have been our 30th wedding anniversary. We had all these trips planned. We were going to do a cruise, a European river cruise. We had all these really fun little things planned. But anyway, it's crazy because just saying those words still feels strange to me. It's like uh, those words, our 30th anniversary, it carries an entire lifetime of dreams. When we stood at the altar, I never imagined that one day I'd be saying, oh, well, it would have been our 30th anniversary. I mean, he was my best friend. I imagined we'd grow old together, we'd have retirement together, grandchildren, holidays, travel, slow Sunday mornings, laughing about the years that had flown by overnight. Boom. I imagined sitting on a porch together someday, looking back over a life that we had built together. Never, ever, not for 1 second, did I imagine that after nearly 3 decades, I'd be rebuilding my life alone. I know many of you never imagined it either, whether your marriage lasted 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or even 50. You thought you were planning for the second half of your life together, but instead, you were handed a bomb, just like me. A bomb that destroyed not only a marriage, but a family and the future that you had spent decades imagining and building. And you guys know, one of the cruelest parts of a bomb drop is that you don't just grieve the person, you grieve the life that was supposed to happen. You grieve the vacations you will never take together, the anniversaries that you'll never celebrate, and the retirement you carefully planned, maybe the financial security that you expected, and the grandchildren's birthdays that now you don't get to attend together. As a matter of fact, my ex doesn't even attend his granddaughter's anything. You grieve conversations that will never happen, inside jokes that suddenly have nowhere to go, traditions that disappeared overnight, and perhaps, guys, most painfully, you grieve that person that you believed would grow old beside you, your very best friend. For many left behind spouses, this happens during what should have been some of the happiest years of your life. The children are now grown, the mortgage is almost paid, retirement is finally within reach, and you start to think, dang, we made it. Then everything changes. And in most cases, everything changes overnight. Instead of planning cruises, you're hiring an attorney. Instead of remodeling the kitchen, you're now dividing retirement accounts. Instead of celebrating your anniversary, you're now just trying to survive another day. The sadness is real, you guys. The shock is real. The grief is real, not just for you, but for your kids, extended family members, and even your friends. So please don't let anyone tell you to just get over it, because you are not grieving a relationship. You are grieving an entire future. And I know what it's like to look at an anniversary on the calendar and feel your stomach drop, to remember exactly where you were, what you wore, what you dreamed, to wonder, how did we get here? Yeah, those questions are normal. But today, I want to offer you something that has slowly changed the way I think about anniversary date. And that's, what if we gave them a new purpose? And that's not to erase the past, not to deny the pain, but to reclaim your future. For years, July 27th represented the day I got married, but then it became the day I lost my marriage. But maybe, just maybe, it can become something else. Maybe this is the day I celebrate surviving. The day I remember that although my marriage ended, my life did not. Maybe this should become my launch day, the day I remind myself that the bomb drop didn't define the rest of my life, but it launched the rest of my life. And what if you did the same? Instead of spending your anniversary hiding under the covers, buy yourself flowers. Take yourself somewhere beautiful. Write a letter to the person you become. Spend time with your children or grandchildren. Volunteer. Help someone else who's hurting. Create a brand new tradition that belongs only to you. And little by little, that date begins to change. Not because the past changes, but because you do. One of the hardest lessons I've had to learn is this. We don't get to choose every chapter that life writes for us, but we do get to decide how the story continues. The bomb that took a marriage, it took security, it took certainty, it took dreams that I thought would last a lifetime. But you know what, guys? It didn't take my ability to love. It didn't take my purpose. It didn't take my faith. It didn't take my voice. And dang, it certainly didn't take my future. If today is your anniversary or tomorrow or next month, I know it's going to hurt. Remember the good years, grieve what was lost. Those years really mattered. The love that you gave mattered. The life you built mattered. All that was authentic. And nothing can erase that. I want you to ask yourself one little question. What do I want this date to mean from this day forward? Think about that, you guys. Not what it meant yesterday, not what someone else might have done to you, but what do you want that date to mean? Because that answer belongs solely to you. And as I close today's episode, I want to leave you with the words that have become my own reminder whenever I begin looking backwards. And that is, the bomb did not define the rest of my life. It totally launched the rest of my life. And I pray that one day you'll be able to say the very same thing. So thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for allowing me to walk beside you through your healing. And remember, stop chasing that blast. Walk away from that flippant explosion. Heal, rebuild, because the bomb doesn't get the final chapter, you guys. You do. And until next time, go forth and launch the rest of your life. And if today is an anniversary that hurts, I'd like you to do one little thing. Really simple. Maybe light a candle, say a prayer if that's part of your faith, or simply stand outside and take one deep breath and say these words out loud. I honor what was, I grieve what was lost, and today I choose to launch the rest of my life. Thanks again for joining me today on MLC Bomb Drop and Beyond. Hey, some resources that are available for you guys are thewifeexpert.com. That's Lori McDermott over there at thewifeexpert.com. She also has a new app out. There's tons of videos that can give you all kinds of information on no matter where you are on your MLC journey or trying to reconcile with your spouse. So check out thewifeexpert.com. And if you're not sure if your spouse or yourself is in maybe approaching or in a midlife crisis, be sure to check out Kenda Root's quiz at midlifecrisismarriageadvocate.com. Again, that's a midlifecrisismarriageadvocate.com. That's a quick little 2-minute quiz. It's free. So check that out as well. We have a ton of resources out there for you guys. So check them out. Thanks. Hey guys, this is Trina, and I want to take a moment to speak directly to anyone who didn't choose the collapse, but is living with the aftermath. When a spouse enters midlife crisis, the damage doesn't unfold slowly. It happens like an explosion. One day you're living a shared life with your best friend, and the next moment, that person that you have trusted and loved for so many years has emotionally disappeared almost overnight, rewriting history, minimizing the damage, and running from the very family they helped build. Friends are confused, the story gets simplified, and the spouse left behind is often expected to handle it quietly, gracefully, all while absorbing the fallout all alone. After the bomb drop, a survival guide for the left behind spouse was written for you. This book doesn't offer platitudes or false hope. It names what others avoid. Inside, I will walk you through what is actually happening when someone runs from themselves, why chasing answers only deepens the wound, and how to stabilize your life after emotional abandonment. In this book, we talk about why these departures feel so sudden and destabilizing, because in fact, they are destabilizing, and why the spouse who stays is often blamed, erased, or silenced. Why saving yourself is not abandonment, and how to grieve someone who is still alive while finding your footing again. This book does not promise reconciliation. It offers you guys something more necessary at this time, and that is stability, dignity, and a way forward when someone else has chosen to run after the bomb drop. The Survival Guide for the Left Behind Spouse is available now on Amazon Kindle in both ebook and paperback. It's also available in audio version on Spotify. And if you're standing in the blast radius and wondering how to survive what you did not cause, this book was written for you. Hey, if you have a story you'd like to share with our listeners, or if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email mlcbombdrop@gmail.com. Again, that's mlcbombdrop@gmail.com. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon. You know, guys, when the bomb dropped in my own marriage, I was completely lost. I'd hardly even heard the term midlife crisis. I equated it with toupees and fast cars. I never imagined I would be discarded by the man I'd loved for decades, who I thought was my best friend. And I certainly never expected to be facing divorce in my 60s. I had so many questions and so few answers. I found awesome communities, as everybody knows, on Kendra Ruth Stump's group on Facebook, um, and Lori McDermott's group on thewifeexpert.com. There are awesome support resources out there for us. And now there's even one more, and that's the MLC Bomb Drop Community. This is an app. If your bomb drop has just happened, you can start with the emergency 30-day action plan. It's a little step-by-step guide to help you navigate those overwhelming first days, because they are extremely overwhelming. You'll be lucky to even be able to get out of bed. You're also going to find a divorce documentation checklist to help you stay organized when life feels anything but. And the app, it includes 7 downloadable resource guides. They're just $2 each, or you can get all 7 for just $10. Other than that, everything is available to you, totally free. If you need someone to talk to at 2 o'clock in the morning, your personal AI support companion is available for you 24 hours a day. Simply type what's on your heart and receive thoughtful, caring responses whenever you need them. You'll also have access to an AI journal to help you process your emotions. You guys, I built this community because I never want anyone to feel as alone as I did, and I see it every day on the other sites. People just totally blindsided. So just know and just share this information, because nobody should feel like they're facing it alone. So to find the app, just go to https:// and then community.mlcbombdrop.com. Again, that's https:// community.mlcbombdrop.com. You may have been left behind, but you are not alone. There is hope, there is healing, and there truly is life after the blast. I'll see you on the app, or I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, take care. The stories and events discussed in this podcast are for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered legal, medical, or professional advice. Any names, locations, or identifying details have been changed to protect privacy. Any similarities to actual persons, living or dead, or real events are purely coincidental. The information presented on this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional advice. Always consult with a qualified expert regarding any decisions related to your specific situation. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the podcast creators.